Hey everyone! So today we will be talking about how to find an internship in college. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Sabrina. I am currently a senior at NYU studying Hotel and Tourism Management. How to get an internship at college and my internship experience has been one of the most asked about questions through my channel. Everyone just wants to know about the job opportunities. This will be generalized to any student in college, but also with a little bit of focus on specifically hospitality, since that is the program I am in, and it is a bit different than the other majors at NYU. So I'll have the chapters timestamped so you can skip to whatever part's most relevant to you. I'm going to talk about how to get that internship, all the tips and everything like that at the beginning, and then I'll talk about my experience and my 5 internships I've had through my time here at the end. Just so you know, I also have qualification to talk about this. I had 0 internship, job, anything experience prior to college. So now I have 5 internships, so I really can talk about what it's like to have no experience coming into college and the stress of trying to find an internship. So the first thing you're going to want to do is target what specific area you want to work in or have that experience in. So I wouldn't put too much stress on this section. It is helpful to know a little bit areas, so you can start doing research, whether that be looking on LinkedIn, looking at people you admire in that field and seeing how they got to where they are today. So for hospitality, you could be interested in restaurants, so start looking at Daniel Boulud and how did Daniel Boulud get to the career he's at. Also, to kind of help gauge your interest in these fields, you can conduct informational interviews. I did this so much. You can reach out to connections in your field and ask them to have these interviews with you. So when I was interested in being a general manager, I would go to 4 Seasons general managers and I was reaching out to them, asking them to do informational interviews with me, which is basically a flipped interview. So you're asking them the questions to find out about their job, how they got to where they are, and it's a great way to also build a connection for when you're in that field later on. These were so helpful to me. I would ask them the benefits, how is it being a woman in this industry trying to raise a family, and to be honest, a lot of them said it was very difficult. It takes a lot of people to ask to get responses, but it's definitely helpful. So then I'm going to kind of address, how do you even make a resume if you have no experience to send out to these internships? My first resume was a disaster. I had literally nothing. It was like a blank piece of paper. I had no idea what to put. So what I did is I just pulled from my high school experience, leadership activities, volunteer opportunities I did. So I co-founded a club in high school. I would put that on. I was a part of Math Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, just any awards. I was also a dancer, so I did list some of my dance stuff on my resume, even though it was totally irrelevant, just to show I wasn't sitting around doing nothing in high school. I participated in a few different organizations in high scholl with volunteering, so I listed that on my resume. Just really emphasize your high school experience, anything you did, whether that be volleyball and you competed in so many tournaments. Like, even if you don't think it's relevant, it's going to help. You just need to have a resume. It can be slightly empty, and they get that if you're a freshman. Like, no one's looking at me like, oh, why doesn't she have 10 years of experience? Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Also, biggest tip was to have my LinkedIn profile up to date. Our hospitality program really emphasizes this. So if you're in hospitality, your LinkedIn profile is essential. It is so used in the hospitality industry. I know some of my other friends don't even have LinkedIn. Like, it's not necessary in a lot of other industries. In hospitality, your LinkedIn profile is so essential. It is really the most prominent way people in our industry connect, find job opportunities. So many are posted on there. Make it beautiful. Take that time. Mine's been curated, constantly changes as I'm gaining new experience. And don't just connect with people to connect with people. I only connect with people I know or I've met. You want that 500+ number on there for connections. I took my time with that because that will come. You want to form genuine connections, not just connect with anyone in your network, because that's not going to help you build those relationships. Now we can talk about how to actually find these internships. So first off, NYU does have a career center. It's called the Wasserman Center. At SPS, we actually have our own as well. If you're in hospitality, definitely use the one we have in our SPS building, but for general NYU, you can use the regular Wasserman Center. There's career coaches there that will help you. I personally didn't utilize it too much. I didn't find it that beneficial. Just that's my case. They do have a lot of students to take care of. The SPS one definitely is my favorite. That's one way. My favorite way is Handshake. Handshake is phenomenal. I think you have to have access through your university. NYU does provide this. So many jobs are posted on Handshake. These opportunities are really great because usually almost everyone I've applied to has responded, which isn't common in other job application platforms. So Handshake, you get a really high response rate. There's a lot of different programs, whether it be summer internships for hospitality, whatever field you're in. I know friends have gotten babysitting jobs off there. Next up is, specifically for hospitality students, is the Tisch Center Job Board. It's the Jonathan M. Tisch Center of Hospitality, and they send out a internship guide every so often, usually per season, so it's fall, spring, and summer. This is also where a majority of my internships have come from, because they're emailing the Tisch Center. They want NYU students, so you will get an extremely high response rate. When you apply, they're going to ask a faculty member about you, so if you have good connections with your faculty member, that will greatly help get you that job opportunity. Of course, LinkedIn, again, hospitality, so many opportunities on LinkedIn. Like, They're everywhere. Indeed, Glassdoor, but LinkedIn definitely has a ton. Last but most important is networking. Networking is everything. It's not what you know, it is who you know, and that statement has never been more prevalent until my college experience. It truly is who you know, especially if you have no experience. Connections are going to help land you that first one so then you can get the second one. It's really, really hard to get that first internship. Make those connections in your industry. Reach out to people who are doing what you want to do in your life. Like, don't be afraid. Reach out to people who've been working in this industry for like 34 years and we've gotten coffee in New York. Like, they're not afraid to help you out, and it's so important to be like, hey, can you grab coffee? Hey, can you hop on a Zoom? And now with Zoom, it's like you can reach out to anyone. I've Zoomed with people in Seattle, in California, and abroad, in Hawaii. So definitely utilize your network. Now we'll talk about how do you actually land that internship once you found it. You found the internship you want to apply to. It's your dream internship. You want to get it. This is my recommendations and my tip. I keep an Excel spreadsheet when I was applying for each season. So I would list the job, how I found it, so that way when I got the interview, I could click on it and then I could see like exactly the details I applied for, because you obviously apply in mass, so sometimes you forget the exact position you applied for. So I would keep an Excel spreadsheet of all of that, linking back to the original job post, track of when I would get my interview, land it, who my point of contact was. Just being really organized during this process is essential. Again, your LinkedIn profile, almost every time I've gotten an interview, I've seen that the person who I'm interviewing with has viewed my profile on LinkedIn. So make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date. And of course, look professional at the interview. Get there 15 minutes early. I've literally sat on Zooms, like they've been 30 minutes late. I've sat on Zooms for 45 minutes in silence, just praying that they'll eventually hop on. It is so important to be early, no matter the occasion. Be in a blazer, hair done, makeup done. It just shows that you put in that extra effort and you really care about this job. When it comes to questions, I kept a running doc. My uncle actually taught me this technique. He said anytime an interviewer asks you a question, write it down in a doc so that way you have the answer next time you go into an interview. So every time you're getting better, you're preparing. After you start doing more interviews, you'll notice it's kind of the same questions. It's usually something to do with a challenge, a difficulty faced with a coworker. Always like, tell me about yourself is how usually they'll start. I've been asked some wacky questions along the way too. I had to like create a game once. You never know what you're going to be thrown at you, but you could try your best to prepare. So keep a running doc of all the questions you've ever been asked in an interview. Create your answer after the interview, so that way the next time you go into your interview, you have something prepared in case that question comes up again. Those are really my tips. I can go more in depth with that if you want to reach out to me, but those are some general guidelines. Now we'll go into the world of unpaid versus paid internships. Unfortunately, most internships are unpaid, and if they're paid, it's usually minimum wage. I feel very torn with this. I believe that unpaid internships shouldn't exist. However, they do. That's the way of the game. You're gonna have to do some unpaid internships to get those paid internships. I believe they're super unethical. They're supposed to be benefiting the student more. However, every unpaid internship I had hasn't. Usually if it's unpaid, that to me says the company isn't ethical. So then of course they're going to abuse that power of having you be unpaid. The ones where I've been paid, I've been asked to do less work than the ones where I wasn't paid. If you can get a paid internship, definitely try for that, but it's usually you need to have a few unpaid before you can get a paid internship. However, you're going to learn something in every internship. There is benefit to it, every single one. Even the ones where I was like, this isn't my cup of tea, I learned something from it. Even if it's nothing else, then I learned this isn't the field for me, or I know I learned that this type of culture doesn't work for me. You're learning something from every single experience, without a doubt. I could go a whole conversation into that and how I believe it's crazy, but now I'm going to talk about my personal internship experience to hopefully give you guys some insight of how I got to where I am. So I started zero, squat, nothing. My first experience was my freshman year spring semester. I'm going to say the name of any companies I worked for privacy reasons, so I'm just going to say the area it's in. So I did work study at a boutique fitness. This was recommended to me by my friend Brenda. I don't know if I really count this as internship experience. This was more just to kind of get a feel for what it's like to work, because I've never worked. So I would only do like 4 hours a week. It was super customer service based. I basically got paid in classes for the time I did. It was super chill, really great environment, but I was still stressed because it wasn't really hospitality based. I didn't know how to go about that. So then while I was at NYU, I decided I should have some leadership experience, because I think that's also important to add when you're coming from no job in high school. So as many of you know, I'm part of a sorority. So that same spring freshman year, I had 2 positions. I was director of academic success and Greek week co-captain. Both of those were really valuable to teaching me how to lead better, and also added to my resume to show that I'm currently active in our community and doing something. Then sophomore fall, I also added to my leadership experience in AST. I took on another position. I was director of event planning. Now we'll hop all the way to junior fall. So again, I'm all the way my junior year, really no experience, stressing out a lot, which is totally fine. You don't have to have internship experience your first few years. Like, I know people are like, freshmen get it, but like, you're fine, you're chill. Junior fall, again, wanted to add on to my leadership experience. There was many reasons why this came about. I just really wanted to get more involved with hospitality in our program, but I ended up taking the position of secretary for Hospitality Business Society. Such valuable experience. This also added to some really great networking opportunities. We participated in a hackathon where we won 2nd place. We got to work with the CEOs of the top 5 hotel chains, create questions for them. So that was unbelievably valuable experience. And then that same semester, this was my first official internship experience. I was a community coordinator intern at an event company. I didn't want to go into events. That was not my desire. I just needed to get my first experience in hospitality. My friend Maya, if you're watching this, I love you, but she's in events and she worked at this company and she was like, Sabrina, I'll help you out. She helped me get that job and helped me land it. So again, see, network, so important when it comes to the first experience. Maya's an angel. That I knew events wasn't for me, but that experience helped me so much. It helped me get the job I ended up getting right after that. Denied me originally, and they accepted me once I had this experience. So just having that first initial experience is so valuable. Then that junior spring, I worked at a hotel lodging association as a hospitality intern. This opportunity I found on Handshake, more in the direction of where I wanted to go with my career, so that was really helpful to kind of see what it's like in the exact industry I wanted to work in. Then, continuing with my leadership experience for Hospitality Business Society, I was promoted to president, so I ran and I got elected for president. That's my current position. I love being president of Hospitality Business Society. It has opened even more doors and networking opportunities. And then the summer before my senior year, I had another internship. I was working as a hospitality administrative intern at a hospitality staffing company. This was one of my favorite internships I've had. The company culture was really great. I learned from this I didn't really want to be on the corporate side of hospitality for my career. However, it was a fabulous experience. It taught me so many skills. It taught me what it means to work at a really good fostering corporate community. This past fall, my senior fall, I worked as a luxury travel advisor intern at a luxury travel agency. That experience was really great. However, I overwhelmed myself a lot that semester and I probably shouldn't have taken on an internship. Again, networking opportunities. I got to work with one of my friends. All those experiences led to landing a post-grad job. In September, I started applying to post-grad jobs just to kind of put myself out there. And I ended up getting, after 2 months of interviews, I ended up getting pretty much my dream position. End of November, I accepted it. I will be starting in July. That I'm not going to include in this video. I'm going to keep it to myself for now. Hard work definitely pays off. Because I now have my postgrad job, I just kind of wanted to live my life, enjoy my final semester as a senior. I'm doing some part-time jobs, trying to make a little bit of money. Yeah, just kind of enjoying the semester and what it has to offer. I've worked my ass off to get here, and I think I should just really relax and enjoy a semester without putting this pressure on myself. I hope for any aspiring college student or current college student who's watching this that you just breathe. I was in your same boat. I was stressing so much. I was like, I'm never gonna get a job. I'm never gonna get an internship. Like, I'm gonna graduate and be screwed, have no career going for me. But that's not true. Whether you're in hospitality or not, you will find your way. So yeah, just take the pressure off yourself. It will come, it will happen, but I hope these are some good tools to help navigate that field. If you have any questions, or whether that be more about my experience or how to land a job or finding things, internships, whatever it may be, feel free to reach out to me, whether that be YouTube or my Instagram. Anyways, I wish you all well on your internship search. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Melody, just need to find my